10 seconds remaining.
Fourth pick for Vega Squadron going to be happening here. We got Bane good locked in against Anti-Mage.
This is a really nice pick because now you need a... So, to me, when you pick Venomancer, you kind of want a situation where the team is going to be hesitant to buy BKBs really early. Like, Duso could eventually buy one, but obviously you're not going to want to get it as like a maybe even third or fourth item. You want it to lay a long time if you can. And then there's not really a natural pipe buyer who's going to be getting a lot of farm. At this point, if it's Core Venge, she's probably the best one to buy it. And then Empire also have the option of going back for another core hero instead, and maybe swapping the Venge to like a 3 if they want to play the Sven as a 4 and the Bane as a 5. But we'll see. But right now they don't have a, besides like a Vlad's, they don't have any other team item carry. Like they need some pipe or Crimson Buyer.
Yeah, I think I look at his Venom pick. I like it a lot as far as how it can kind of slow the game down and be annoying for Medusa, but they also kind of lack damage at this point. Like, the Anti-Mage is not going to give you any burst damage, nor is Veno, who's a core. So the two cores you picked so far don't have good ways to burst through any of these heroes, which is, to me, always an issue. If you want to get like a quick catch or a pick off to start a fight, you need that burst damage to come from somewhere.
Yeah, they are leaning pretty heavily on AM. I totally agree with that. I mean, the Tusk can give you quite a bit of damage in the early mid game just by having the level 4 tag team. I suppose that could be where you're looking to see your burst potential in like the first maybe like 15 minutes or so. But obviously after that he's gonna fall off quite a bit. So are we thinking it's 3 Veno? Because I'm thinking it might be like a Tusk Veno off lane right now.
Oh,
yeah,
or tri-lane.
So.
Or tri-lane. Those are my two.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to run Venom mid. He doesn't, unless you know you've got like a really good matchup for him. But I think his ability to just last hit and push out waves just isn't really good enough to run him as a mid.
Well, if it's Dusa mid, Dusa just free farms in that lane. So yeah. I definitely don't think they're putting the Venom mid. So that means that last pick for Empire is going to be what, either position 3 or 1, I suppose, if we don't know if the Venge is for sure playing core yet. And then Vega need their mid.
What about if they still need more answers for Medusa, something like a Nyx Assassin? I mean, could you do that mid Nyx even? Is that worth it?
I don't think it's worth it. I think
you can't like stop her farming. She's gonna free farm is the problem.
Yeah. You need a hero that just stops this hero from hitting creeps, or offers you, like Gods was saying, that punch that you can just get in, get your kill, and get out. Because realistically, there's going to be 4 heroes playing around the map on Vega, and AM's going to just be somewhere else. Like they don't want to have to 5-man, so they need some way to either start fights and get in, get out, or a hero that's going to shut down the Dusa mid and force a reaction out of Empire to like send supports there. Any way they can relieve the lane pressure away from the AM is going to be a good pick.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing something like I don't know, like Lina Invoker type hero, something with that kind of magic burst damage. Maybe Invoker's a bit greedy, but it does kind of work well against Medusa.
I was gonna say, yeah, as a hero on paper, Invoker sounds great. It's just the pace of the game is what's gonna be concerning. Plus, they don't have 10th pick, so it's kind of a struggle. Okay, Tiny, that's your punch hero. That's your get in, get out, your burst damage, your initiator, pretty much everything that you need. Let's see, what is your response here from Empire? So we're still probably okay with Dusa mid. I think Tiny is one of the heroes that just has pretty okay lane matchups against almost everyone. So you can just walk the lane, get your tree, get your CS, get your Blink Dagger, pretty much unobstructed, I would say, at least in this game.
The main thing they'd like is just some more team fight here. Like if you're going for this, 5-man push around that first Aegis or something, you want to have like a team fight specialist, because right now it's really just like a Sven stun for them. They don't have any other good team fight around Medusa. And whoa, they pick up a Slark.
So is it the 3 Sven then, or is it the 3 Venge? I don't know who plays 3 for the team.
Valier is a support. Yeah, he's going to be a support Sven.
Okay, so it is 3 Venge.
Yeah. Maiden is their offlane player. Okay. There you go. Slark finish. So yeah, what do we think about that?
Is it anti-mage mid? Because Madara definitely plays anti-mage more than mage, but mage has the anti-mage.
So didn't they do this in the group stages? They actually had mage play the anti-mage.
Yeah, last time they picked it, they did the swap, and then Madara was playing Dazzle for that game. Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think AM is okay in the mid matchup for sure. And if both heroes are just going to farm, then it's going to be down to what the other 4 can do on the map. And obviously the Medusa is going to accelerate a bit faster than Anti-Mage because she has a natural built-in like range cleave, if you want to call it that. So I don't know. This game is interesting. Like, I look at Vega's lineup, and I just like it better, to be honest, just because I think that they have more ways of kind of playing the game. But then again, the Slark kind of counterbalances what the anti-mage can do and also plays the same style of Dota. I don't know. This one's a coin flip to me. I think whoever just plays better is going to win.
Well, according to the odds that you see on your screen right there, you head over to es.bet. You can place those bets on the odds if you like them, of course. There's also the insurance to take advantage of for the WePlay Winter Madness event taking place over the next 4 days. Again, our first of 3 best-of-3s. That'll be happening, but Team Empire Hope, the favorite team, at least going with the odds. But as you're pointing out, Draskyl, when it comes to the draft, and really both are quality teams, it's hard to lean one way or the other. Gods, do you feel different?
Yeah, I think it's pretty even. I'm a little caught by surprise by the Slark pick. I feel like Slark with Medusa just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. They obviously looked at the draft at the end and decided that's going to be a hero that can come online and maybe pressure the AM a bit, even though AM has the Blink escape. But I'm not sold on Slark with Medusa, but at the same time, I think Empire Hope are a pretty scary draft to beat if they can get off to a good start.
All right, here we go, entering our first of 3 best-of-3s. I suppose, Draskyl, I mean, you're welcome to stay around, obviously, for the game itself, but...
I mean, it's up to you guys. I'm cool with whatever.
I'm cool with everyone. You stay, you want to chill, you can do that.
If you want to hang around, I will say, if you are going to hang around, make sure you're watching the stream and not the
yeah.
Okay.
I got told that already. I won't make that mistake. Don't worry.
You're an ultimate predictor.
1 or 2 of the picks.
Yeah. I'm like sitting here like, dang, this guy's good at predicting. Oh, that's right. All right, so here we go into the game, though. Obviously, you see the early movement as far as heading to the laning phase. Kuman's down there on the Slark already, expecting him to be playing down here, but he needs to be careful not to get caught in this trap of what's a 4-man pain train gank coming. Oh, wow. At the last second he sees it, he's going to pounce away and he'll be fine, but close call.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how the lanes work out, because I'm looking at Vega's early game. I really like the combination of like Tusk Venom, because you can utilize tag teams so well. There's not many heroes in the game that have a snare that lasts that long. It's like something like 15 seconds or something absurd. So if you hit a Gale and the Tusk is anywhere in the area, that hero is just dead. Like there's only one hero on the side of Empire right now with an escape, and that's obviously Kuman on the Slark that you just saw. But yeah. All right, so bounty runes being traded, and here we go.
Tag team is so good. Yeah, with the Venomancer. Can only imagine. Good luck getting away from that.
I thought Sigil was a cool spell. I hope it comes back in some way, because I'm sad to see it just removed from Dota.
If anything, for the cosmetic, right? Like, it's one of those where like there's no more cosmetic for it anymore for the people that had it.
Imagine he bought that cosmetic and it's just gone.
Disappointed, man. Pexu, by the way, he's going to be disappointed in his death right here. He ran in trying to harass with the Tusk, and before he knew it, all of a sudden 2 supports collapse onto him. First blood for Team Empire.
It's kind of strange. They had the word there, so I'm not sure if they saw all 3 heroes, but because no one was showing in the lane yet, it was a little bit suspect to try to go for the kill that early. Or at least, go for that kind of harass behind the tower and stuff.
So it is going to be an aggressive trial lane, though, still, as Jakiro makes his way back down here. But you see, it's only 2 supports, or 2 heroes even at the bottom lane for the Radiant squad, as the Sven is now, this is a little bit old school, he's bullying the anti-mage in the middle lane. We got a 2-man mid lane going on for Hope.
Yeah, this is a little bit different. Oh, they're actually going to lose Kuman as well. Nice attempt at the pounce. Almost gets away, but not quite.
Yeah, even though they got this early kill down bottom, I feel like this lane is going to be really rough for Slug to get any farm in. And that's why I'm saying this AM mid makes a lot of sense, just because he's going to have a lane where he's not pressured by a tri lane. It seems like both teams want to just tri lane and shut down these carries, and well, you send a carry mid, suddenly they're not being pressured as much.
So we essentially have Keizu versus Maiden at the top lane, 1v1. Tiny versus Vengeful Spirit up there. You look at the bottom lane as we got the 3-lane split. Always some cool production to work with here. Maybe next time tag team's activated, but Velhior obviously a little too beefy on that Sven despite lacking the mana. Not much anti-mage can do to assist at this point, but if both supports end up staying here, is there either side that you would favor for this when it comes to the core specifically?
I think it's less about what the core cares about and more about the Tusk doesn't want to stay mid-night shards. Not going to be quite enough, though. Gets away with the stun. But I think the Tusk wants to be the mobile piece more than the Sven, because the Tusk can actually secure kills with tag team and shards a lot easier than I think a Sven could, guarantee you a kill.
Yeah.
So I think in that sense, it's actually a bit worse for Vega to have to commit MMT to the mid lane.
Yeah, and they're not pairing the Tusk with the Venom, which is that duo that you were talking about to be really good. They are looking for another kill here on Velior, but they're going to get repelled back.
Well, they're going to go for Tusk instead, and they do find the kill on a Tusk, so well played there as far as reacting.
This is very unfavorable for Tusk because the whole point of tag team is to burst with autos, and then the new Warcry just negates all auto attack damage. So I think that you probably just want the Jakiro there if you're gonna have a hero stationary in the mid lane and just send a Tusk with a bot or something.
Again, they're going in with that combo, but with Sven there, he throws out the hammer and he's gonna block the best he can. But you see the damage onto Medusa. That is more like you just mentioned with that tag team. Yeah, if he can get close by, and especially now with full life coming back, takes advantage of the death in a sense.
I think his Warcry was still CD, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I think
I don't know if he had mana for. He's been trying to pop these mangoes just so he can like get a stun out while he's being mana burned. He may have just not had mana for both spells.
He's got 2 mangoes still, so I think it was just level 1 Warcry is 36-second CD. That's actually so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a nice kill there. The Medusa's very terrible stats early on, and punishing her as much as possible before like these Wraith bands start coming out is pretty important here.
Taking a look at the CS right now, it is favoring the Dire team slightly as back to the middle lane. There's that Warcry in defense. Isn't enough though. Velior could still be in trouble. They want Medusa, but of course they'll take any target that they can get. The Stormhammer with the pop of the Mango. The blink forward though. He is regenning slightly, so he's gonna at least take them for a ride here. Something tells me he's still dead. Can he get denied by the creeps at least? No, he's not even going to try for that. He's going to go all the way to the Ancients. Try to get denied by them. The Golems, will they come through? No, they will not. Mage does finish him with the last hit. Made them chase for a while, though, I suppose.
It was a valiant effort. It makes you wonder if he was like 1-0-2 instead of 2-0-1 if he would have lived. But
yeah, that's true. He had to use the double mango. The first to get the Warcry and then the second to get the stun off, which was a bit rough for his economy, but he is just that support.
Easy killing Jakiro at the bottom lane. Might come to cost though. Kuman's in trouble. Gills up. A couple more auto attacks. That's a dead Slark, so not the trade you're looking for if you're Empire Hope. In fact, Bane also in trouble. Ward goes down. I think he'll get away, but meanwhile elsewhere, that's just maybe next time committing suicide. That's all that was.
That's a level 4 Venom already, by the way. That's actually quite troublesome. Because the second point of this Sting is so value in the early game, you really can't trade with Venom in the lane that much. So in bot, like Madara is just going to continue to get a lot of farm.
Bounty runes coming out. Both teams want them, and it looks like Vega will get 3 out of 4.
Got it.
Shards. BU's blocking. Jakiro's cutting off, so Bane has to go the other direction. Just out of range, I believe, that dual breath. He's still not out of here yet, though. I believe Anti-Mage is rotating over. Yeah, it's going to be another case of probably dead eventually. It's just a matter of how long it takes. And with the tag team nearby, they're even just going to pop a shrine with this. Might as well make it extra worth it.
Yeah, extra value. Like, I keep seeing this AM rotate for these kills. Like, first it was to kill the Sven over in the jungle, and this one here, it's like not the best when you have a Medusa sitting mid-farming, but you make it worth it when you get the kill and you get a shrine, you're back mid. You don't really see that big of a CS difference between Medusa and AM right now.
That top lane is going to be the biggest thing for me, right? Because you got the 2 solo heroes up there, Vengeful versus Tiny. Who would you think is going to have the higher, which team will have the better impact there? Obviously, you think Tiny as far as getting that blank initiation tool, whatever. So, by the way, that counter spell helping us save Mage in the meantime in the middle lane. And look at the turn this, in fact. Tusk rolls in. The shards go down. That's at least a dead Bane. And that'll be it in the end. Oh, no, actually, Velhurers might be in trouble too. Madara's here, throws in the ward, but now Madara's the one that has to be careful. Stormhammer up, he's trying to run away, another ward goes down, kiting, using the stick charge, and Sven gets low, having to back off, so quite the clash in the middle, as ultimately ends up in the 1 kill for Vega Squadron. But yeah, back to the question, which team does that favor more with the 1v1 top lane?
Well, the Tiny is definitely going to win the lane. It's very hard to out-CS Tiny, especially as a not pure ranged hero like Benj. So obviously, like he's doing very well in that regard, and I think once the blink comes out, what, 3 of the 5 heroes in Empire die to that, just instantly, not even like with outside help. And then the Medusa and the Sven can obviously die if there's like a Tusk nearby or a Venom or whoever. So it really just boils down to once he gets the blink, what is he going to accomplish with it, and that's going to be down to like vision, where the pressure is on the map, stuff like that.
And the Venge, meanwhile, can't really be quite the same playmaker, but even just with some levels, we could see Venge just start to kind of, play that kind of more 5-man style where you group up with the rest of your team. I think Venge is going to become very strong soon, just unable to stop plays.
Oh, Slark having to pop that Shadow Dance. Thought for sure he was dead. He might be out of here now because of that, or maybe not. Tusk. Snowball lands. Going to use another Dark Pack, but it's just too much damage. too much pressure really coming out from Vega Squadron. Bane is for sure dead here as well. Sven's coming over. Maybe set up a turn on the Pexu, if anything, as well the brain sap. So Pexu's going to go down here, it looks like, in return, and with the Warcry, Bane surviving this actually. Now Badara has to respect the damage, trying to walk away. Of course, with that Warcry, move speed increase. Venomous Scale going to come out, slowing them down a bit. Maybe next time. Does he have a shards maybe coming up soon? There's a tag team, but the Storm Hammer connects. The long-range Hail Mary Hammer does do the job, and they're going to turn also on a Tusk right now. He snowballs to the neutral creeps. Great swap right there. There's a second swap coming into play, and maybe next time. I don't think he's getting away from this one. Stormhammer connects, a couple more attacks. What a turn for Team Empire Hope. That was just team play at its finest.
It was a really good showcase of the support Sven. Really good at punishing over aggression. As soon as you start tower diving against him, he pops the Warcry. Obviously, the Venge TP got a really nice swap play, got the stun onto the Venom to get the kill. And then, like you mentioned, it's just good team play. You have to be careful about pushing like that hard in the early game against the support Sven.
Rotations coming over from Vengeful as well as that Sven. Almost like they're setting up a smoke play here. No, just going to run past the Slark.
Yeah, they might feel like they want to deal with this Tiny, slow down his Blink Dagger a bit. They're going to find M&T here.
Yeah, he gets caught by the hammer initially. Snowball, I'm guessing, still ready to use. Not going to be necessary here, though. Slark a little too far away, but so was the Vengeful. But they scare them off on the tower push. It was a big creep wave there, so that is a minor victory of sorts for Empire Hope.
I think Empire Hope are pretty strong when they have this Venge and Sven together in a lane. Those two heroes with the damage mitigation from the Warcry, the Venge with all the levels as a core hero, and then they can pretty much take any fight they want.
This is kind of the territory, though, where the Tiny was hanging out, though. So it's also, that's the hero that hasn't really been present at a lot of these engagements. Obviously, once it's Blink, but that's kind of the great equalizer, in my opinion, because the Warcry is great and everything, but if you get stun tossed in the early game and like a couple of hits on tag team, you should still die even through Warcry.
Bottom lane, Jakiro wrapping around. There's a TP coming in from Tiny as well, who is heading down here. So Jakiro thinking about opening, however, going to take the sleep, and not much coming of that. They're just, it's taking the pressure of the tower, but now with Tiny officially here, Kezu looking for that opening, finds Jakiro just to the north a little bit. Doesn't look like it's going to catch him in the end, though. It gets him some help. Or found Bane, excuse me. But Bane gets away despite the toss, and just not enough damage happening there. So 10-minute bounty runes are going to happen, though, and at least Vega will go back and pick those up. They're still pressuring that bottom tier 1 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, kill elsewhere.
He goes down elsewhere. That's a solo kill from the Slark. But it looked like Empire Hope were trying to contest the bottom bounty runes. That's why they brought 3 heroes in. But once they see Tiny, they realize, you know, it's not just a Venno down here. It's 2 of the 3 cores contesting bottom bounty. So they just take the top ones and split them 2 apiece.
It was a bit disjointed as well, though, because like the Vega wasn't close enough together to really all go in on the Bane, for example. Like Hezu was really far ahead of everyone else. So maybe he like throws someone instead and they can just get a bonus kill, because like you said, Empire did not look like they wanted to fight that at all.
Bottom lane, Vengeful. Liquid Fire, Ice Path connect. Gonna put out the stun onto Venomancer, and seems like it should be enough. There's so much dot coming out as far as Jakiro and Venomancer is concerned, but again, a little bit too tanky. Draskyl, I want to touch back on what you mentioned earlier as far as the draft, even Vengeful possibly being that Pipe carry. Do you think Pipe is a high priority here, like he should go it as soon as possible, or something changed here? As middle lane, hold that thought, because Mage, that's a full lockdown there from the Bane. The follow-up, it's not nearly enough initially, but it will be enough in the long run. He could not get the blink off. Well played on that gank back to the bottom lane. Vengeful Spirit now, he's just going to put the stun on, knowing that he's probably dead. Go for the turn kill to Venomancer. Nice sleep taken off by Pexu, though. Bane is here, of course, but no Fiend's Grip, as we saw him use that in the middle lane. And they should be able to retreat.
Top tower is under attack.
Interesting exchange, all in all. But referring back to your question, I think it's about what you can actually get. If you could farm a Pipe, I think Pipe would be amazing. But my concern is, are you really going to be able to get that much in a game that's this fast? Like, look at the positioning of Vega. They were diving behind a tier 2 at, what was it, like 11 minutes or something like that? So if a game is being played that fast, you're probably better off going for like a Vlad's or a Force Staff or something else that's going to be a bit more bang for your buck.
They're also doing this while in AM farms. I think that's what's really scary if you're an Empire Hope shoes. You're like, well, we're getting ran at, we're getting dove, and AM's just kind of all free farming, which is a bit of a concern when the Medusa versus AM matchup is not going to be that favorable for them.
Speaking of that free farm, Anti-Mage working on the Demon Edge. The last component has 300 gold saved up, so still a bit to go for Mage, but overall seems like it's pretty good considering he's actually top of the net worth right now. I would call that very good news for Vega Squadron. Where they're at.
It's right after death as well. I don't really feel like their draft addressed the AM in that hard of a way, despite it being first 2 picks. So they kill him once with the grip, but this AM is going to cause them a lot of problems.
Slark, mid lane, already used that pounce, going to be gone on. Combo from maybe next time, popping the Shadow Dance though, and at least they get the cooldown use, who will survive. But this means the tier 1 tower going to be pressure now, and this is your typical anti-mage strat that we see a lot of the time. You know, you get the AM, and you get a team built around him that creates space, and that's exactly what Vega Squadron's doing as they pressure the middle tower now.
They actually have really bad heroes at dealing Plague Wars as well. Like, sure, the Medusa can hit it, but you don't want the Medusa to be here defending the tower. And the rest of the heroes on the side of Empire, they just can't hit the wards. If they do and they get out of position, then you're going to have to force out like a swap from Madden, or the fight's just going to get really, really ugly from that point out. So in a 4v4, I would still say that Vega probably had the advantage, and we're not even talking about Tiny Blink yet. Like, Hezu's still quite a ways away from it, I believe. So
tower is under attack.
I think that the pace of the game is definitely favoring Vega for now, but if they make a couple of mistakes, it's still very easy for Empire to just, you know, get their way back into it, like I was just talking about earlier with the combination of the Venge and the Sven together in fights. Really powerful.
So the swap into the blink away, but Mage is still in trouble. Fiend's Grip locked down, God Strength active, and he tried, but obviously too much lockdown. I mean, that goes back to this Radiant lineup. They definitely have ways to deal with the anti-mage, especially before, you know, that BKB eventually happens. So they're taking full advantage of it and slowing down that Battle Fury as much as they can is the name of the game for Empire Hope.
Yeah, it's pretty uncommon that you'll see 2 successful Fiend Grips kill on an anti-mage by 14 minutes in. Like, yeah, it's a great ultimate. It can guarantee you these kills, but the fact they've been able to successfully catch them out mid and then smoke into the enemy jungle where they've got all this great vision set up is really good news for them. It's really, if you want to shut down AM, you're going to have much more success doing it now than later on in the mid game.
Bench opens up on Apexu. There's the follow-up from Bane, but he gets comboed by the Avalanche. Now comes the Poison Nova as well from Adara. They're going to pop a Shrine with this. Try to delay as much time as possible. Wait for those supports to come in. Tag team's active though. Bane is going to fall. Stormhammer on 2 of the backlines as well as the Stone Gaze. And Vega has to retreat. Remember, obviously Anti-Mage is not here. Slark is also not here though for Empire Hope. So it was a 4 versus 4, now 3v3. Looks like somebody is making the way. That's Anti-Mage making his way over. Venomancer. There's that Macropyre put down, but Veno indeed is, well, actually he's getting low. He doesn't go down yet. Vengeful did fall himself. Anti-Mage is now here, and the Mana Void destroys the Medusa in the middle of the fight, and that'll be an absolute victory for Vega Squadron, especially with that finish.
Save Pexu from this Venge illusion, please.
Yeah.
He's just running from it for so long.
There we go.
He's good. He's good. That was a really, really nice fight from Vega. I mean, it looked a little bit strange earlier, like when Madara died in the jungle like that. To be honest, I feel like him farming on that side of the map is super dangerous. Because the way that normally the game plays out is that both teams are going to run around as 4 or 5, and they're going to just assume the enemy jungle. You never really want to be farming your own jungle unless you can absolutely help it. So the fact that he died there, it, to me, isn't really as much of a mechanical mistake as much as it was, why was he there? You know? I feel like those types of things, like, if did I just say Madara, by the way? Mage is playing AM. I'm just so used to saying
You'd figure that, yeah.
Yeah, my brain just automatically links those 2 things together. But anyway, yeah, he shouldn't really be caught there, in my opinion.
Yeah. Slark not being there as well for Empire Hope, obviously a big factor, and he did just finish his Shadow Blade now, but look at what's going on here. That's a 3-man smoke gank. They're going to see the Courier at least. They're just going to kill the Courier, and that was actually Blade of Alacrity on the way to Kuman. They get with the snowball. The shards go down. Kuman having to pop the Shadow Dance for this. He's still not out of here just yet, though, Keizu. Not going to be able to chase, and that will be the getaway for Kuman, but not the Slark start that they had hoped for. I mean, the net worth is doing all right, I suppose. He does have 3 permanent charges of agility, but he still needs more, it feels like. The Shadow Blade's a good start, but still needs a bit tankier.
He's having an okay game, but I don't think he's going to ever really be able to deal with the Anti-Mage all too well. I mean, I don't think he's picked to deal with the Anti-Mage. It's a hero that can match up, well against some of the rest of the Vega lineup. Although the Tiny has a lot of burst damage, so he does have to play pretty cautiously this game still.
Radiant's bottom
I just remember a
tower
day
is
when the
under
Tiny
attack.
versus Slark matchup was way easier because your Avalanche didn't have gaps in it where you could just
Radiant's
either
bottom
pop your
tower
Dark
has
Pact
fallen.
or pop your ulti. So it's actually high burst, but it's still worse in terms of killing him.
Odds closing a little bit right there. Head over to es.bet. You can put your bets in if you like. Those odds as bottom lane swap play, but not too sure about that one. Maiden's the one that's in trouble now. Sven coming in with the Stormhammer, though, with that War Cry, so maybe it was bait all along. Fiend's good blocking out maybe next time. They kill Jakiro. Definitely going to get the kill on Tusk. Will they kill the Venomancer as well? Looks like it. The missile connects. The Avalanche coming in. There's what you're talking about, Draskyl. He's allowed to pounce away, and a double kill for Kuma when it's all said and done. So a 3-for-1 in favor of the Radiant. Obviously, that was a bit of a push there from Vega Squadron. They've done it a couple times now, but we are still pretty early in this game, so don't want to overplay your hand.
Are scanning.
Yeah,
It was just really good recognizing that the AM wasn't there. That was the big difference maker.
And I think the AM's kind of farmed enough now where you want to get him involved in these fights, particularly as the counter to Medusa. If you can get Medusa down low, we saw last fight where they had the Mana Void burst 2 heroes. Like, this AM does offer something at this stage of the game in a team fight.
I just see a Blink Dagger. That's right, Blink Dagger on Sven picked up. This position for Sven. It looks like he's managing to farm quite a bit. And that's, of course, great news for Empire Hope. We saw that come into play in fact the previous fight as Bane over here is going to get found, I'm guessing, on a warding mission.
Nothing touches
some
the
down there.
heart like venom.
Anti-Mage just continuing to be top farm in the game with that Battle Fury, but Medusa's keeping it very close, actually, with what she
Radiant
has.
are scanning.
That's a Crimson Guard, by the way, on Venomancer finish. I believe you mentioned that earlier.
Interesting Medusa goes for this SMY. I feel like the Kaya has quite a bit of value against the Anti-Mage with the mana loss reduction, but I imagine she just doesn't want to increase her health, her mana pool by too much against an Anti-Mage.
It's also the type of damage you're taking. I think there's like flat HP when there's like 4 magic damage dealers, just going to be a bit more value.
Are fortified.
I mean, she's gone for a lot of just, raw strength items. The Dragon Lance and now this Sanjin Yasha, so not going for any normal intel stat items.
Combo from Tiny. It's going to have to come into play right here as far as surviving goes. The Stone Gate's going to be popped as well, so Vega Squadron trying to retreat, at least go in the back lines. And for somebody else, Bane going to be that target. Madara popping that Crimson card that we talked about, but it's not going to be enough to save him. He goes down. Keizu with the tree throw. The Mana Boy does come out. Medusa will fall. She was running to the shrine. So close, stretching out her arm. Could not pop it in time, though. Numbers in favor of Vega Squadron at this point, a 3-for-2, but we're not done just yet. Maybe next time. Still being ran down. Hammer connects. They're going to pop a shrine. And it should be a kill on Tusk eventually here to make it an even 3-for-3. I mean, he's going to make this take as long as possible, but that should be another plus agility for Slark, as you see there. So again, numbers-wise, it ends in a 3-for-3, but with that Medusa kill, I think you got to favor Vega.
AM now a full 2.5k net worth ahead of Medusa. That's pretty concerning. Slark, coming out a lot of these fights is a winner with all the stolen agility that he's getting as well, which is pretty nice. I think up to 7 or so now, but the anti-mage is not really being addressed at this point.
That was the big concern, and I mean, the chances of getting a Fiend's Grip off in a team fight like that, pretty slim to none. There's Ice Path, you got Tusk, Tiny, spells, it's going to be increasingly difficult to stop Mage from doing what he wants. And to be honest, I wouldn't even say that Vega executed that fight super well, because they had 2 heroes going on a Bane instead of the Automana Medusa. It was very interesting. I mean, I realized she Stone Gaze at the beginning, but I feel like they could have just popped her right away. All it would have taken was a Blink Mana Void, and she would just be instantly dead.
Deja vu there. Bane again dying around that Roche pit, trying to get some wards down or do some dewarding.
Yeah, you figured you learned for the first time now. As you mentioned, Deja vu is a perfect word for it, because this time it's also going to be more impactful, it seems like, because they're setting up Roshan out. They're not the fastest Roshan killing team, and that's showing. So, yeah, it seems like that was almost just never going to work. Vega, bit of a wasted time there.
It's just a risk they don't need to take. They're actually in a really good spot in terms of hero composition. The anti-mage can do basically whatever. And that's a really nice feeling to have. And the best way to throw that is to do a Roche that you're not ready for.
Well, luckily they realize that.
Well, we'll see them wait for that next, I think, team fight where they can bring the anti-mage with the Mana Void. They don't want to go for any kind of bold, risky play where he's not involved. He's at almost 15k net worth now. He's the majority of their farm, you want to play around it.
Does he have the Manta style yet, by the way? I saw you had the Yash earlier.
Oh, yeah.
I believe he should. He's got that.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. He's got lots of items.
He's
got an extra ultimate orb on top of the Manta style, so a lot of farm.
I don't know if he wants Link. I think it might have been a Lincoln's, but
he's got Butterfly queued up with the ultimate orb.
Yeah,
so
I'm looking at it.
Casual +10 all stats. So, all right.
I see a lot of anti-mages buying like Scotty and stuff too, but I'm not sure how I feel about that this game. I think Lincoln's offers a lot of value.
He's probably looking at like the only way he dies or gets dealt with is a Fiend script, so he wants to just make Bane's life a little bit harder to get off that Fiend script, even though there are ways to break through a Lincoln's.
Something to start thinking about too is that MKB, because we do see a Talisman of Evasion on Medusa, and it's going to be the eventual Butterfly. Will come out.
I mean, there is a stage in this game where the rest of Vega's lineup will start to kind of fall flat, and the weight is going to shift more and more on the anti-mage. And Empire do have 2 cores, so there is a little bit of emphasis on playing the game here.
Yeah. If the Venge was a bit more farmed, I'd say that'd be a big concern, because then it really truly have 3 cores. Venge is pretty scary and can do some serious physical damage to an AM.
Venge definitely playing more of a support role, though, that's fair to say, as the initiation once again on a Bane by the great Stormhammer on 2 heroes, and Slark is able to follow it up Jakiro for the kill himself, so an eye for an eye there. That is Macro Pirate down. Shadow Dance used by Slark as well. In fact, toss from Keizu in on a Medusa. They burn all the mana. Oh my god, Medusa was a bomb right there with that Mana Void. She goes down. Venomancer is picked off, but Vega Squadron looking very good once again. ATMA still plenty alive. They take down Slark. They just need the final target. That is Maiden, and they will have it, damn it. Triple kill for Mage. Yeah, that Medusa's having issues.
They don't really have a way to get the anti-mage off her. Like, I don't even think they have a 4-step at this point. Yeah, the Venge went for Vlad's. The Bane got thrown into Vega. Like, Kezu blinked on him right away and just tossed him back. He, like, insta-dives. And even though they trade for the Jakiro, it's like, if you can't stop the anti-mage from hitting your Medusa player, that fight's going to end badly. There's just, especially when it's in that kind of, like, really close-knit area where everyone's standing on top of each other. That's, like, best-case scenario for Vega.
Yeah, I think we're kind of starting to see the limitations of like this Slark Medusa together. It's like you've got these 2 kind of right-click heroes that don't really cover for each other. The Medusa is kind of there tanking up damage, but you mentioned, yeah, they've got no way to get AM off Medusa, and I think part of that's because, you know, the Slark's not going to really help. Slark's just going to go kill some supports or something, but it's the AM who's like the really big issue here, and they last pick this carry that doesn't actually fight the AM.
Well, you think too, Slark is obviously a master of picking off, right, or getting those solo kills, but I will say Vega's doing a lot of this whole death ball idea. They're sticking together, moving as a team, and it's just not allowing Slark to have any chance of these free openings to start adding up more and more charges and, you know, be that impactful Slark hero that we sometimes do see. And you see what he's building, by the way, with the Diffusal on top of the Shadow Blade. He's now going Eye of Scotty himself as a follow-up.
That's actually a really good point, though, Breaky. Like, the way that Slark wants to play the game, he doesn't want to walk to fights. Like, if there's more than 3 heroes in a fight, Slark just doesn't want to be there. Unless he has, like, BKB or, like, another item on top of his current kit. I think he's working towards, yeah, Scotty. I think you mentioned that. But his item progression is going to be a lot slower than Anti-Mage for obvious reasons. One of them builds an accelerant, the other one doesn't. So when you walk to a fight and this anti-mage is like, you know, a couple levels higher than your Slark, it's not something that the Slark is happy with. He wants to play side lanes more. He wants to play like off the map more.
Yeah, we're seeing him start just kind of ignoring the AM a bit. I mean, that's maybe more now because the Aegis has come into play, but at some point you're just going to have to go defend. AM's basically saying, I'm going to go high ground now, what are you going to do?
Well, we're going to see what they're going to try to do here. They were pushing the bottom lane. They got the tier 2 tower, but obviously they have to defend. After the side, that's Slark over here. He thought he found a pick. He might kill Jakiro. He's getting low. Pops a Shadow Dance to finish it. Toss away on Jakiro. Jakiro's going to be fine for now. Fiend's Grip locking down Mage. Where's the follow-up, though? There's a swap into a worse position. This is the start for Empire Hope that they wanted. The counterspell comes out. Remember, he has an Aegis worst case, though, but he's still able to blink away. And second swap comes out. This one onto the Venomancer. It's already used that Poison Nova. Veno will be picked, so that was more like for Team Empire Hope. A bit of a scattered fight going in their favor. Tusk TP's out. And only ends up being the 1 kill, but they prevent their tier 3 from going down, and they get the Veno kill, who is technically a core.
Kuman is looking for more.
Catch Kaiser? Don't want to
He's real
overcommit.
scared. He is so scared.
Yeah, not worth it.
Yeah. Too close to the shrine, too many people who can back him up there. And I mean, another fight where you can see this AM's kind of unkillable, but I think what Draskyl brought up about the fact there's just no real secondary carry on Vega is going to become a bit of an issue if this game drags. Sven almost has, I think he completed or almost has an Aghanim scepter.
There you
That's going to
go.
buff up all of these heroes, yeah, by a huge amount in these fights with extra damage. This is actually pretty scary for Vega. Like, everyone's going to be right-clicking hard, and for Vega, it's all about this AM.
And plus, the AM needs to get to the MKB as well, because the Medusa has the butterfly. So now he's forced to go back. Like, he's going to have to get rid of his ultimate orb, his casual ultimate orb, I guess we'll call it at this point, to make sure that he can actually get on that hero and get the kill. Because before, there was no evasion, and Mage blanks in, and then the hero just turns into a mana bomb. But now the evasion actually makes a tremendous difference. And like you mentioned, the Ags on the Sven, it's actually a lot closer than it seems.
Yeah, I don't feel like Vega's lead is going to linger if they can't get something done soon. And that first Aegis high ground attempt, they get the tier 3 down pretty low. We'll see if I imagine they want to go for a Rax here while they've got this Aegis.
Yeah, I would think.
He just lost his entire mana bar to that snake. It's actually so ridiculous.
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, it is actually. Man style popped coming out of him. Remember, he still has the Aegis for about a minute, I want to say. So it's not necessarily being worried about it being reclaimed there, but is going to blink away. Mention all his mana just disappearing. They got the tier 3 tower.
Radiant's top
Let's go ahead and go for
shrine is
shrines, they
under
say. So playing the very safe game is Vega, but Empire Hope's not going to let this up for free. They're jumping in. Kuman, in fact, goes in. He goes into no man's end in a sense, right in there. Jakiro goes down. He pops Shadow Dance for this, and now he's going after Madara. Madara just gets shredded. This is a start for Team Empire Hope here. They already have 2. They're going to get a 3rd, and that's the Aegis kill. Can they follow it up with the Blink? Blink, counterspell into Blink. He is good.
Yeah. Counterspell being able to come out means you can't actually lock him down when he pops out.
So gets away there, but we're definitely
That's
starting
good
to see
enough,
the.
though,
Yeah.
honestly, for Empire. That is more than enough. They just need to make sure that they didn't lose Rax to that Aegis, and now they have a second lease on life, if you want to call it that. They're going to find a kill on the Tusk. Very nice stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look at Slark's game has obviously completely changed. It kind of goes back to that point we were mentioning earlier with, there's so much grouping up for Vega Squadron. He's having trouble finding the targets, but since then he's been able to do so and find those initial picks to start the fight, and then eventually chase out. I believe I saw 14 charges on him now, plus agility. That permanent, of course, that's that infinite scaling in a sense. That's take advantage of Medusa pushing that tier 2 tower. Yeah, it goes back to you said. I mean, this game really is never too out of hand. It continues to be a very close game, and we saw that most certainly in the last fight, if anything. So, really is anyone's.
Yeah, I think even Vega's window is definitely, I don't know, it's shrunk a lot right now. I think they're actually in a worse position as far as where this game currently stands. Medusa's itemized and skilled in such a way where AM is not going to be as big of a problem. She only has an 800 mana pool, which normally is a bad thing because you want to play around your mana shield, but Medusa didn't get that plus 700 mana talent, level 20. Went for this Stone Gaze duration, is going for all these strength and agi items, but not building up this mana pool to make the AM mana void effective.
I really like this build from Medusa. This is what you do against anti-mage. Like, I saw a lot of people buy Kayasha. I think God's touched on it a little bit earlier. But this is a better, more direct solution. It's like saying, even if you completely mana drain me, I'm never going to be that guy that just kills his entire team by, standing in the middle of a fight.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
See MKB, I believe, being worked on by Slark there. Getting close to finish. So obviously his damage output going to get that much more intense. Vengeful's found here at the top lane. A free kill for Vega Squadron. Not the end of the world, but still, they will gladly accept that. And the next Roshan is probably what we're going to be waiting for here, of course, as far as that second Roshan is.
He still finished the Scotty instead of going for the MKB. Interesting. Maybe he just feels like if he's tanky enough, it won't matter if the Medusa has the evasion. But that Stone Gaze is going to last so long. What is it, like 9.5 seconds with a talent or something?
You either just accept that you're going to get stunned for a bit and then, go fight after that, or you just can't deal with Medusa.
Again, there's that avalanche. Slark's able to respond to it. Pops a dark path. They catch out the Bane at least, so they get the 1 kill buyback, though, for Vengeful Spirit and his TPing in. Now, Keizu, he's going to get stuck up here. Shadow Dance bought by Kuman. Anti-Mage is like, do I go? Do I not? He wants to, but then he doesn't. And he popped the poison out, but he's going in now. Big Mana Void setup. No, it gets canceled because of the swap on a Kuman there. But now Maiden's in trouble. Failure also just cleaving them down as the Anti-Mage ends up being a double kill in the backline. So we see Medusa here going to be knocked up by that Walrus Punch. And, of course, Anti-Mage sitting on top of him. No doubt a dead Medusa there. Triple kill in the end for Mage. The Ice Path was a perfect setup for the AM follow-up there.
Well, you can see why the Scotty with all the stats and add a bit of slow there, really working wonders, and just all in all, Vega putting together a much better team fight. Benji even buying back, it's still not really enough. Empire Hope just were completely like spread apart. They weren't really ready to have a fight in that part of the map.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit sloppy. I mean, it was a good save on Kuman and stuff. It looks like they're gonna try to defend the racks here. Might be able to claim it.
Oh, Tusk saved though. Speaking of saving his teammate right there and sets up the Ice Pass. So not gonna kill Sark, but trying to keep them away, and they will successfully do so. They get the melee racks. Mission accomplished. Vega Squadron gonna be fine to retreat.
It's kind of a letdown though, because we're talking about how like this game is on like the nice edge, right? Like one really good fight for Empire, and the game is gonna look like way different. And then they take like this really disjointed fight where there were like 3 heroes clumped up in one spot, and the Medusa's off on her own. How is he out of mana, by the way? Like when I saw him, he was BKB'd and did the AM jump her at the beginning, and then like she had to force BKB?
I don't think so. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not sure if he came into the fight with lacking mana, which would be odd in the first place. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, I think Mage must have hit him.
And Mage managed to burn through like everyone's mana pool. All this attack speed from the Butterfly Pascati, like he sees Kuman get stunned up, he's instantly blinking on the Slack to completely delete his mana pool, and Vench is forced to use a swap save. Medusa had no mana in that fight. Everybody was just unable to use their spells.
So this is important. Roshan, you see it's going to spawn right there. It's going to be spotted. Kuman went in MKB, does not have a buyback currently. So if a fight does break out, that could come into play, of course. Hang out around, but I don't know if Vega 100% knows just yet, because it was Slark was the one that was in there giving that information, but not surprising, both teams going to contest for the second Roshan, and now they definitely know.
I don't think you want to be giving Anti-Mage an Aegis at this stage. You'll almost certainly lose a second lane of racks, which comes pretty close to the point where this game is not really recoverable.
Vega gonna go for that smoke play, wrapping around. You see Venomancer is just really playing that utility core, has the Solar Crest now in full with the Vlads as well as the early Crimson Guard. Oh, they're getting a good angle here. Looking to go in. There we go. They find the jump on the supporting cast. Ven, though, he's gonna be a distraction. He will die. Just gonna take a while. No God Strength, though, for the team. Kuman sitting on top of Mage. Mage is getting low. Anti-Mage can he blink away in time? Pots Mage style does get the blink off with the counter spell. That was a close call, though. Almost caught them off guard, it felt like. Vexu lands the Ice Path on a Bane. Kuman having to keep his distance. No more Shadow Dance. In the back lines, they pick off the Vengeful, and now Medusa going for the TP play. That's not going to work, buddy. Medusa is definitely going to fall right here. Anti-Mage still has the Mana Void. In fact, it comes out for the kill, and Kuman all of a sudden finding himself by himself. He goes down too. They're all dead with no buybacks across the board, and that's the GG. Okay.
I mean, it was over.
Yeah.
That was a respectable GG call, because the Medusa had to buy back from the last team fight, so as soon as she dies,
okay,
there's no defending or taking rush or anything like that.
Killing Sven, finding the Sven at the start of the fight is probably one of the best targets you can find. He's so much of their damage if he's sitting next to the Medusa and Slark with God Strength, and getting Warcry on like 4 or 5 heroes makes such a big difference, and that just got taken away by Kezu finding these blink toss initiations. He was finding pickoffs all game long, and that really allowed Vega to pretty much take every big objective. When they took racks, when they take the Roche there, everything is a lot of the time coming from those pickoffs that he's getting.
Overall, very competitive game, especially, you know, being in these best of threes now in the playoffs. That's what you'd hope for. But again, Vega Squadron, they have that 1-0 lead now. So, but yeah, Draskyl, your final thoughts on the game?
I think we finally figured out who is going to have more impact in the tiny Venge lane, Breaky. I think we solved it. I think that Kezu's impact in this game was not to say that Madden played particularly bad. He had some nice TPs, some swap saves, but I think it's a difference between having a hero that makes stuff happen and a hero that plays defensively. Like, that was the big difference that I saw, because Kezu was integral in like 3 or 4 team fights this game that ended up winning the game.
Venomancer was huge as well throughout. Again, not only the way he built his items, but he obviously always one of those heroes too, with just that poison damage constantly adding out. The poison novas in those fights, doing plenty of it throughout the game. So we're going to take that break. We got game number 1 of the books. Again, our first of 3 best of 3s that will be happening today. It's a 1-0 lead for Vega Squadron, currently over Team Empire Hope in our first best of 3 here. So I'm BreakyCPK, joined by Gods and Draskyl. Stay tuned. We got game number 2 coming up next.